We are delighted to welcome Senator Marsha Blackburn on board the AEM Manufacturing
Yes.
Express. Senator, thank you for being on board, and thank you for being so supportive of the equipment manufacturing industry.
Well, I'm delighted to join you and so excited to see you here in Chattanooga today. And I think it's going to be a great day. It looks like we have a lot of excited employees outside who are waiting for your remarks, my remarks, and to celebrate what it does mean to be in equipment manufacturing, good, stable, well-paying jobs, and manufacturing products that are so important to our supply chain. And I will say manufacturing quality products, which is many times so important to manufacturers when they're looking at quality over price.
That's well said, and of course we are here at Aztec Industries. We got over 300 people outside waiting for you, so we've got a good crowd for you. But before we get to the remarks, talk to us a little bit about the importance of a strong manufacturing sector, strong equipment manufacturing industry, whether it's to the state of Tennessee or to the national economy.
Yes, and with a strong manufacturing sector, what you have is good, stable jobs that build into careers. And many times you'll have people talk about a career in manufacturing, whether it is working the line or engineering or innovation. It is keeping that manufacturing stateside and keeping that focus on innovation and newer products, newer ideas, building in efficiencies, and how you do that with a machined and a manufactured product.
Well, of course, some of these family-sustaining jobs, some of these careers that you mentioned, and I'm glad you did, are not always possible unless we have strong pro-manufacturing policies. And you've been a champion of manufacturing throughout your career. Maybe tell us a little bit about some of the work that you're currently doing in Washington.
Yes, of course. And with Tennessee, we're a right-to-work state. And people appreciate that. And they know that because of that, they are going to be able to build a career out of their job. That is kind of step number one and foundational as we look at it. Also, having regulatory and tax policies that are friendly to manufacturing is vitally important. Sometimes environmental policies will preclude manufacturers from working in certain states. And indeed, we know that here in Tennessee, we have a light touch regulatory framework, which is wonderful. And we need to move back federally to a lighter touch on regulatory work. One of the things we do know is that sometimes our equipment manufacturers here in the States will say, well, regulation makes me less competitive with global products. And we should always be mindful of that. As I said earlier, that supply chain of American manufactured products, that is a national security issue. And not only do we need to keep that production here, we need to keep those skill sets advancing. And certainly as you look at advanced manufacturing, that is an area that we're paying attention to.
I'm glad you brought up the issue of regulations. There are some regulations that are costing our industry upwards of $50,000 per employee per year, and that does not make us globally competitive. So that's a point well made. As we've traveled around this great country visiting all these equipment manufacturing communities, there are a lot of impressions for us, but maybe share a little bit about what you think makes Chattanooga special as home to many manufacturers, not just equipment manufacturers, but manufacturers overall.
Yes, and I have visited the last couple of days with people that are in tool and die, people that are in paper products, and then we'll also visit with people that are in healthcare delivery. So you have a diverse economy here in Chattanooga. That's a good thing.
Mhm.
And you also have people that are focused on building out a quantum computing network, which will help to push forward into advanced manufacturing. And as you have that commercially available network and are able to do a wider range of things and do them more efficiently and consistently, that is going to enable bringing more manufacturing to the area. Also, you look at the intermodality of Chattanooga with the Tennessee River that is coming through here, and the ability to barge in different products, input items into a manufacturing facility and move that by barge, which is helpful and helps to lower the cost, which is good. And, we have no state income tax in Tennessee. So you've got a lot of workers over in Georgia that really like to come into Tennessee and work, and they appreciate the fact that we are able to have an environment where our residents pay no state income tax.
Well, we're heading to Georgia next. Maybe we should stay here in Chattanooga. I love the point you made about the intermodality and the transportation infrastructure.
Yes.
Because obviously equipment manufacturers like to make more equipment here in the U.S., but sell it to more customers overseas.
That's right.
We can't do that if we can't get it out to customers.
That's right.
So the AEM Manufacturing Express, we're traveling 10,000 miles across 20 states, more than 80 equipment manufacturing communities. Thrilled to be here in Chattanooga today. But I thought we'd wrap it up with maybe a few road trip themed questions.
Sure.
Favorite road trip memory?
Oh, one year when our son was, I guess, about 6 years old, and we set our summer goals, and we did this. They had to read a certain number of books and do certain things. One of his goals was to stop at every Dairy Queen that we passed. Well, that happens to be the year that my Texas-born husband decided that we were going to drive from Nashville to Fort Worth so the children could realize how far it was and appreciate this wonderful, beautiful country. You would not believe the number of Dairy Queens that are on I-40 from Nashville to Little Rock to Texarkana. I have to tell you, we were glad when the sun went down and the kids dozed off to sleep and we could drive on past those signs with the Dairy Queen logo on them. But I don't think our children will ever forget that. It's a fond memory to recall.
Like a great memory.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great lead into my next question then, and I think I know what the answer is not. What is your favorite road trip snack?
Oh, chocolate would have to be at the top of that list. A good cup of coffee going right along with that, and a big bag of popcorn.
But probably not Dairy Queen based on that story.
You're right.
Yeah. Final question, Senator. Favorite road trip song?
Oh, anything by the Beach Boys, anything by the Eagles, and of course you've got to have some good old country that is in there. And we've got a variety of artists. The best music in the world comes from right here in Tennessee.
Well, it sounds like we need to add a few tunes to our playlist.
Yes, you do.
Continue to head north. Senator, thank you so much for all that you do for our industry. Thank you for being on board with the equipment manufacturing industry in Tennessee.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.